But along that, there were these questions that I was getting during the two sessions about the 7.2% increase. I said, well, it's the same as last year, and it's actually at the median if you look at the last 8 years. But I said, let's look at it in a different way. Instead of percentages, okay, let's look at it in real terms. Between 2018 and 2024, the U.S. added over $250 billion to its military budget. Well, the whole Chinese military budget is only a little over $230 billion today. So that means that the U.S. in real dollar terms has added more dollars to their military budget than the entire.
But the great thing about the U.S. military is that there's only 40% of the budget can be audited. So you don't really know what happens to the other 60%.
Audits are very troublesome. You have to account for things. No, but what I really love is, the Pentagon has had a series of failed projects. And guess where all those projects are ending up right now?
Ukraine? Or
Yes. Ukraine. They had there was the famous story about the Bradley fighting vehicle, which was supposed to take a group of 10 men from point A to the battlefield, point B. And then it became unworkable. It became a death trap because they used the wrong metals. So if you shot it with an incendiary bullet, everyone inside would die. They added guns to it. They had to kick out 3 people because things. So it can't carry a complete squad anymore. So it was. And there was a movie about this, and it's all factually based, and the Pentagon doesn't deny it. They just try to say, pay no attention. Now they have something similar that they did, taking troops from a troop carrier across the sea and the landing it on the beach. All right. Once again, it became, it has guided missiles and machine guns and major guns and all of these things. It can't carry the number of people, and it doesn't work. So where have they been sent? Ukraine. Because Ukraine's going to do a beach landing any moment now.
From Crimea? No.
From Crimea.
But I mean, it's just, this has been an incredible boon to the Pentagon. Now they get to get rid of all of their old ordnance. And they can say, oh, the cupboard is bare. We need more money. I mean, literally.
They're going to have some serious problems because apparently a lot of the rare metals required for their armaments.
It's from China.
It's from China.
The rare earths.
And a lot of the gunpowder as well.
That's right. Even gunpowder is from China.
But I mean, this will just fuel more. National security is at stake. We have to find our own system. We have to manufacture our own gunpowder. But there's also been this issue, very serious, about how warfare has turned on its head. It used to be the guys with the heavy weapons, the ships, the tanks, the troop carriers, the missiles were in command. Now, what do we see in Afghanistan?
Or the Houthis.
They're
able to get something that's very damaging at very low cost.
And also in other conflicts, you're seeing, drones. Incredible. This is why I'm laughing. The drones have become such a major component. So you can put out a $10,000, $15,000 drone, and we're shooting them down with $500,000 missiles. Okay. So explain the economics of how this is going to work. I mean, you can send a lot of drones.
Like Ian said, it's a question of very cheaply you can destroy the others heavily paid for military. But also, in addition to drones, how about ships that's drones?
No, and I mean
it's already happening.
Between hypersonic missiles, between underwater drones, between drone swarms. All right. So I was recently reading, the whole thing about the Australian submarine. All right. Well, it was an imminent threat to be responded to in 20 years. But now the U.S. has announced that our internal consumption is 2.4 submarines per year, but we can only make 1.6. So how are you going to sell
-0.8.
nuclear
minus
submarine.
0.8.
No, no,
yeah.
no.
Minus
We're
0.8
in
out,
deficit.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
means we can't give them to the Australians.
Yep.
But so that means that it's going to be lengthened
But you can't buy from
out.
the French. Yes.
But-
yeah.
But
yeah.
the fact is, underwater drones are evolving as we speak.
Yep.
You can have a drone that just sinks to the bottom of the sea,
And just
all
waits
right,
there.
and waits there.
You know, the other part that's really significant is
Yeah.
when you talk about manufacturing capacity,
Mhm.
your military development is dependent on
Yep.
your manufacturing capacity. Even shipyards. Why are they not talking about using Japanese shipyards
Yes.
to do US ships? Because
National
they-
security. Yeah.
national
Oh,
security,
yeah.
because they can't produce them themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but we
couldn't
spy
even-
on them enough so we'll know what's going on. Right? You
Yeah,
know, the U.S.
sure.
we have a very robust. In fact,
Spy
recently,
system.
did you
sure.
Spy
see the latest announcement? The CIA is complaining that China's made it too difficult to spy on them.
Okay.
And this is outrageous. No, I'm serious. This, what kind of country makes it impossible for you to spy on them?
Yeah.
And this is cause for suspicion
Okay.
because they prevented us from
It's
spying on
difficult
them.
to
So
tap
we
the
don't know
phones.
what
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing. So therefore, they must be doing something really, really bad. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, you have countless examples of how things are going topsy-turvy,
Yep.
how it's become so emotional.
Yep. Well, you get votes when you say things like this.
I know,
right?
but,
So it's,
but who,
But
who
it teaches your people to be stupid,
yeah.
irrational, illogical.
well, Blinken's saying, in a public venue, if you're not at the table, you're on
Yeah,
the
the
menu.
menu.
Yeah.
All right?
yeah.
Are we back in Great Britain during the,
Yeah.
I mean, this is literally was something that I would expect coming out of the East India.
East India Company, yeah.
Company, yeah.
Well, I mean, Winston Churchill once said that the best case against democracy is a 10-minute conversation with an average voter, right? So I
Yes.
think that really resonates. Yeah.
That-
Five minutes.
5 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, maybe
Lot-
just 5
lot
minutes.
less. But I mean, there's, this is one thing that I don't know how you guys feel. Democracy has not failed anybody. People have failed democracy. Democracy only works in middle class in countries that have a strong middle class that are
educated,
willing.
yeah.
The majority of voters are willing to invest in the future. If I only vote for my own interests, everyone votes for their own interests. All you have is chaos.
Yep.
Because you don't win, you blame me.
Yep.
All right, or vice versa.
Yep.
And you destroy the credibility. In almost all of the democracies out there that are touted by Washington, you have people being driven to the opposite ends.
Yep.
All right. It is about trying to drive voters with fear. All right. Literally driving them with fear, intimidation. That guy wins, he's going to take away all your rights.
Yeah.
He's going to take away your guns. Oh, if that guy wins, he's going to take away your right to abortion. They're dividing it. Whereas, during the two sessions, the Chinese thing is always a drive towards creating a consensus.
Consensus for the
A
for the country, yes.
consensus. How do you achieve a consensus?